you know how during the election period, God starts speaking to his Nigerian prophets? Well, he has spoken to one of his Anambra prophets who has come out to tell us that God has revealed to him who the next presidential flag bearer for the People's Democratic Party will be. If you want to know who God's appointed is and what God told this particular Anambra prophet, stay tuned with us as we will be discussing this in detail and much more. Hello, my name is Christina Mimam and you are welcome to Inforistic TV. Here, we talk about the latest happenings in Nigeria and around the world. So it seems like over the weekend, the Efcc operatives drank a lot of energy drink because the energy with which they started the week is really, really powerful. And the interesting part of the operation this week is that their focus was not on the leaders of tomorrow, but on the leaders of today. Yes, you heard that right. So this Monday, the Accountant General of the Federation, Mr. Idris Ahmed, was arrested by the EFCC operatives. According to EFCC, Mr. Idris Ahmed had looted 80 billion naira from the office that he occupied. Like, wow, wow. Well, it's not as if EFCC just woke up one morning and decided that they wanted to pick a beef with Mr. Idris Ahmed. They had actually informed him earlier to come to the office for an investigation. But you know how Nigerians are now. He ignored them. And since the mountain refused to come to Mohammed decided to go to the mountain. What do I mean by that? Since Mr. Idris refused to come to the EFCC's office, EFCC decided to go and meet him. According to EFCC, they claimed that he was able to loot 80 billion naira through false real investment schemes, his family relatives, proxies, and close colleagues at work. This is shocking. This is shocking, really, that 80 billion naira is in this country and ASU is on strike. It's not as if they even ended there. You would think that with that energy, they will rest and handle Mr. Idris. No. On Tuesday morning, EFCC arrested Mrs. Patricia, Etteh, the former Speaker of the House of Representatives and the only one that has held that position in 2007. According to EFCC, she's been held with connections to some fraudulent activities with NDDC contracts. Now, in 2007, Ms. Ekere was made to resign from her office as the Speaker of the House of Representatives a few months after she held the office. The reason why this happened was because she was accused of financial misappropriation. Although EFCC has not given a concrete detail as to her current involvement with the NDDC saga, we will see how this plays out. Meanwhile, you will think that after arresting Mrs. Ekere, they will rest. But no, not EFCC. They still had so much energy in them because the next day being Wednesday, they went after the former managing director of NDDC, Mr. Nsima Ekere. Now, Mr. Nsima Ekere was accused of looting 47 billion naira through the agency contractors. This is like 47 billion naira plus the 80 billion naira that was allegedly stolen by the Accountant General of the Federation is 127 billion naira, if I am correct. Yes, I'm correct. 127 billion naira. So again, why is ASU on strike? We have this amount of money in this country. Like, why is ASU on strike? Meanwhile, EFCC, thank you so much for your action this week because you've come to show us that there's money in this country and not small money, serious money in this country. So, Prophet Godfrey Buje has come out to tell Nigerians that the Lord has revealed to him who the next presidential will be for the People's Democratic Party. According to him, during the early hours of Thursday morning, he was intervening for Governor Wike, the current governor of Rivers State, when the Lord stopped him in his tracks and told him who his chosen one will be. Still according to him, the Lord's chosen one is Peter Obi, the former governor of Anambra State. Now, this is a very interesting thing, and I'm really glad that God is speaking concerning our elections. But why is it that God only reveals when elections are around the corner? Is it that this God is a politician? Because his interest in Nigerian politics is something else. So why doesn't this God tell us when crypto is about to dip so that people can remove their money and jaye with it? Or when it's about to rise so that people can buy coins? Or if any any investment at all so that people can enjoy? Why is it that it's only during the election season that God is so interested in Nigerian political sphere? Like, this God, it's all right. So what you just watched is a clip from a protest that went violent at the APC Port Harcourt chapter secretariat in GRA. Now, what happened? Rumor has it that APC Port Harcourt chapter has split in two. And one faction is not happy with how they are being treated. According to them, they are being left out. And they were not having it. So what did they decide to do? They decided to carry their placard and come out into the streets and start protesting, "We no go gree, oh, we no go gree. We no go gree, oh, we no go gree." But when they got to the APC Port Harcourt secretariat gate, the security agents there decided to shoot in the air, bah, bah, so that they can de-escalate the situation. But things only went downhill from there because there was a violent outbreak. Now, naturally, when there's a violent outbreak, things break, things get spoiled, people get angry. But this violent escalation led to the death of one of the protesters. Now, what I don't understand about this man's death is the fact that they are coming out to tell us that they don't know if the man was killed by a stray bullet or stepped on during the stampede. Like, am I the only person that this doesn't make sense to? I mean, if a person was shot, you will see the gun wound. If they were stepped on, you will see the marks or the signs. So how do you come out to tell us that you don't know what killed this particular person? Is it possible for a person to be shot and there's no gun wound, or to be stepped on and there's no sign? Please, viewers, help me analyze this. Does this make sense? Before I go any further, if you find what you're watching interesting, kindly like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. On Tuesday this week, there was an explosion that took place at the Sabongari area in Kano State. Now, there are different rumors as to what caused that particular explosion. The eyewitnesses that were there claim this happened.
The incident that happened was to take the life of this student, but God intervened. It was a suicide bomber that came, and I want you to pass this information across the way I'm telling you now. It was not gas explosion. It was a suicide bomber. We saw him. So that is a fact, but God intervened.
After our assembly in the morning, I was in a class teaching the students, and all of a sudden we heard a sound, and on reaching here, we saw the explosion and some dead bodies around. And what we are hearing in the news now, that the government are saying is a gas explosion, while what we saw and the sound we hear is a bomb blast sound. As an engineering student, I know what is gas and I know what is bomb explosion. So I don't see the reason why the government will be telling us that this is a gas explosion where we know the truth. So I don't know if they are trying to cover their shame or trying to cover their insecurity in the state.
While the security agents that came to investigate the whole area claimed that this was the cause of the explosion.
That is the EOD personnel. You know, if you can see, they said it was an explosion, bomb explosion, but sincerely, it's not bomb explosion.
Those people are no experts. And, you know, there was EOD of the police department, that is the police section. They made the investigations, they investigated the place very well, and they found evidence that shows that it's a gas explosion. Because it's a welding shop. Are they debunking that place is a welding shop? They are not.
Now the question is, are these civilians simply trying to gain relevance by spreading false rumors, or the security agents are trying to hide something that we are yet to find out? Viewers, what do you think about this situation? Was it a gas explosion or a bomb explosion? During the week, Ubolu, a community at the outskirts of Asaba, was attacked by gunmen who are suspected to be members of the IPOB group, that is, the indigenous people of Biafra. Now, in a statement that was delivered by the Delta State Commissioner of Police, he states that a driver was killed because he claimed not knowing about the sit-at-home order. People, in case you don't know what is going on, last year around June, the leader of the IPOB party, Kano, was arrested by the federal government and has since been held in detention. Now, this didn't go down well with the people of the eastern states, or rather the IPOB group. So they decided that every Monday and any time that Kano is to appear in court, there will be a compulsory sit-at-home order. What this means is that you are not allowed to step out of your house and you are not allowed to transact any business. If you are caught, you will be severely dealt with. Now, my question is, this sit-at-home order, who does it really affect? The IPOB members that have placed this order, have they sat down to think of the economic implication of this on the eastern states? And what shocks me the most is that when these people catch their fellow citizens, catch their fellow brothers and sisters, that's eastern brothers and sisters, they deal with them as if they do not know them. No sympathy, no nothing. Like, can someone please in the comment section explain why this is so? This sit-at-home order, will it resolve the issue that they are trying to solve? Will it bring Nnamdi Kanu back home? Will it affect Nigeria on a grand scale? Really? What do you think this sit-at-home can really bring about? In my own opinion, I just feel like it's the Easterners, the people of the states, that are suffering the most. As if the bad news was not enough, for 1 week, a man was burnt alive over 100 Naira in Lagos. Yes, you heard that right. I believe that currently 100 Naira can only get you 7 or 6 pure water. But this is the reason why a man was killed. This is not something you expect to hear in a modern civilized society. But hey, this is Nigeria. Anything goes. Now, what happened? David, the deceased, when he started his journey with this bike man, agreed that he would pay the bike man 400 Naira for the journey. When they got to the destination, David brought out 500 Naira and gave the bike man. The bike man told David that he did not have change. David now brought out 300 Naira and gave the bike man. Oya, Oga, take this money. I occasionally perform at beer ban. The next time I see you, I will give you 100 Naira. And from that point, everything went downhill. Nobody really knows what exactly led to the fights or why it started. But all we know is that David was beaten to pulp and burnt to death over 100 Naira. This is what his wife had to say.
On 12th of May 2022, my husband went to work at beer bar. So I was called on 13th of May 2022 by one of his colleagues that we lost him. I had to ask what happened. They said his family should please come over to the police station at Maroko Lekki to know exactly what happened. So my younger brother, his own elder brother, and one of our pastors on the island and my uncle went there. And the report that the police told them was that my husband and 2 other guys, they mounted a bike of the Abokis. And they had an argument over change of 100 Naira. That one of the Okada guys was being hit and he fell on the ground. So they started beating them up. So my husband was beaten and they were shouting that he's a ritualist, he's a Yahoo boy, whatever like that. Before you knew it, my husband, after being beaten, he was burnt. But on Twitter, a colleague of his had to put up the video of what happened. She said, My husband was inside the bar setting up because he's a sound engineer. He primarily works with Church of God Mission International, Garden City, Lekki during the day. Then in the evenings, if there's any show, he works with a band called Legacy 360 Band. The lady said what happened was that two of their guys, a keyboardist and a saxophonist, which is one of them plays for Fino, while the other one plays for the band, that they mounted a bike and the agreement was that they will pay 400 naira. But getting to where they are going to alight, they gave the guy 500 to give them 100 naira change. He said he doesn't have 100 naira. So they offered to give him 300. That they come here to play, that whenever they come here and they sing, they will give him 100 naira. That was where the argument started. So people had to rush into the bar to come and call my husband, that they are fighting our colleagues outside. My husband had to come outside just to intervene. David intervened because of 100 naira. When they found out that these Hausa's guys were more than them, they had to run back into the bar. The lady said when they ran back into the bar, the manager of the bar denied knowing them, so they had to push them out. He even tried hiding. That a lady had to, one of the ladies Hausa had to say this is where he's hiding, and they pushed them all out. They beat them to pulp. My husband was not just beaten alone. He was burnt as if he's a robber. As if he's a robber. Jesus.
David was a father, a husband, and a sound engineer. And he was burnt to death over 100 naira. Personally, I believe that there's more to this story than we know. Viewers, what do you think? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section. We haven't gotten over what happened to David on the 12th of May. Another catastrophe struck Abuja on the 19th of May. What happened? So, a woman was crushed by a truck, and eyewitnesses claimed that the reason why that happened was because of the recklessness of the bike man that was carrying her. This bike man, by some miraculous intervention, was able to escape the accident. But the eyewitnesses chased him down, caught him, got him off the bike, and burnt his bike. Now, his fellow bikemen who were around the area, in an attempt to retaliate, burnt properties, attacked vehicles, and some reports claim that people died. This all happened in the Dede community. Let's see.
It's happening live in Dede Timber. Oh, man, I see fire. Outside people don't finish Igbo for a year. Man, I see fire. Oh, man, I see fire. See how Igbo goods they spoil, they destroy. Man, I see my bag. Man, I see him. Man, I see him. We need Biafra. Man, I see him. We need Biafra. We need Biafra. We need Biafra. Man, I see him. We need them. 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 We need Biafra. I beg. Man, I see us. Man, I see us. I beg. I beg. Man, I see us. Man, I see us. Man, I.
From the last three stories you've heard, you can see that citizens have taken laws into their hands. And when you look critically at the reason why they got so angry and took laws into their hands, you can see that the impact caused by their grievances is way more than the offense that got them angry. All this could have been averted if they had reported to the right authority. David did not need to die. The driver in Obolu community did not need to die. The catastrophe that happened in Dede community did not have to happen if citizens had just reported to the right authority. If you found this video interesting, kindly like, comment, share and subscribe, as we will be posting videos like this from time to time. And hey, don't forget to click on the notification bell so that you will be alerted immediately a new video is uploaded. Till next time, this is goodbye from us to you.